Imagine this, an inexpensive element, something once even found in old soft drinks, potentially holding a key to unlocking Alzheimer's. Welcome. You're about to join us for a deep dive into some pretty groundbreaking new research. Our mission today, to really unpack recent academic studies, health reports too, that point to this, surprising link between lithium, that simple metal, and the fight against Alzheimer's. We'll explore the science, how it might work in the brain, and talk about the implications. Exciting, yes, but we need to be cautious too.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? Almost poetic. An element we mostly knew for mood regulation might just be a game changer for something as complex as Alzheimer's. That Nature paper, the one from August 6, 2025, from Bruce Yankner's team at Harvard, that really laid out this, unexpected idea.
Unexpected is definitely the word. I mean, most people hear lithium, they think mood enhancer, maybe treating bipolar disorder. That's the common understanding. So how does this core finding shift things? Especially mentioning a specific form, lithium orotate for Alzheimer's.
It's a pretty significant shift, yeah. While lithium has that history, this research really zooms in on lithium orotate, showing, substantial promise. It sort of redefines how we see lithium's basic jobs in the brain. The studies highlight that lithium's naturally there, it's vital for keeping neuron connections, the synapses working, for communication, forming myelin, the insulation on nerve cells, and even helping the brain's immune cells, the microglia, clear out junk.
Okay, so if it's that vital, almost like you said, a brain battery, what happens when the levels drop? Is it just a slow fade, or is there like a bigger chain reaction?
That's a really critical question. A deficiency isn't just a small dip. It seems to kick off a really nasty cycle. See, not only does low lithium reduce synapses and hurt memory, but it also speeds up the formation of those harmful amyloid beta clumps and tau tangles, the stuff that clogs up the brain in Alzheimer's. And here's the kicker. Those clumps then actually trap the lithium that is there, making the deficiency worse and driving the disease faster. It's a real double whammy.
Wow. A vicious cycle indeed. That really raises the question then. If this deficiency is so key, do these findings suggest a way to, break that cycle? What did the research actually show? Any breakthroughs?
Absolutely. And the mouse experiments offer a pretty compelling picture here. In these studies, they had mice deficient in lithium, showing memory loss, but give them a low dose of lithium orotate. And remarkably, their memory function bounced back to the level of much younger, healthy mice. We're not just talking about slowing things down here, we're talking about restoring function.
Restoring function, that's a huge difference, especially for Alzheimer's research. And you mentioned that specific type, lithium orotate. Why that one? Is it different from what was used in other trials that maybe didn't pan out?
Precisely. And this is really crucial. Most older clinical trials, they use lithium carbonate. The problem is lithium carbonate seems to get easily trapped by those amyloid plaques. So the results were inconsistent, Lithium orotate, however, seems to avoid that trap. It gets to where it needs to go in the brain and actually reverses some of that disease-related damage. Plus, the long-term mouse studies didn't show toxicity at the doses used, which is, incredibly encouraging.
Looking forward then, the implications seem massive. Beyond just treatment, could this research maybe help us spot Alzheimer's risk earlier?
Oh, definitely. The potential is there. Measuring lithium levels, maybe in spinal fluid, blood, or even using brain imaging, that could become a biomarker. Spotting risk years before symptoms show up. That could completely change how we approach the disease, prevention-wise.
And thinking practically, what about the cost? Current Alzheimer's drugs are notoriously expensive and often just slow the decline, like you said. What's the potential here?
This is where it gets truly exciting, frankly. The prospect of an extremely cheap treatment. Compare that to current antibody drugs, Aduhelm, Leqembi. They cost a fortune annually, and again, mostly just slow things down. They don't restore function like we saw in the mouse models. And this is a really critical warning, straight from Professor Yankner, do not self-medicate with lithium, seriously. Taking too much can cause severe problems, kidney damage, thyroid issues. We absolutely need proper human clinical trials first.
It sounds like a clear next step, but often, even with promising stuff like this, there are roadblocks. Is there a main hurdle to getting this into human trials?
Yeah, there is. It's often funding. You see, lithium is just an element, you can't patent it. And that makes it much less attractive for, say, big pharmaceutical companies to invest heavily in large-scale trials, even though the potential public health benefit is huge. Finding ways around that funding challenge is going to be key to moving this forward.
So this deep dive really shows how a familiar, simple, inexpensive element like lithium could maybe fundamentally alter how we understand and treat Alzheimer's. It offers this immense promise, but also a real need for careful science. It makes you think, doesn't it? In our search for complex answers, how often do we miss the potential hidden in simple things all around us, just waiting for a closer look? What other everyday stuff might hold secrets for our health?